If you think you're smart enough to outplay the Zodiac Killer, think again. Before you even think about decoding his messages or trying to understand his mind, you need to know what kind of monster hides behind the mask of mystery. Welcome to the world of encrypted terror. Welcome to the Zodiac. Make sure you subscribe, because once you enter this story, you'll want to know how deep the rabbit hole really goes. It began in Northern California, late 1960s. The world was spinning into chaos. Political assassinations, the Vietnam War, protests in the streets. But in the shadows, something darker was unfolding. A killer was watching. A man, or perhaps something worse, who wanted not just to kill, but to be known. He called himself the Zodiac, and he wasn't content with silence. He wanted attention. The Zodiac's reign of terror began in December 1968 on a lonely road near Benicia, California. Two teenagers, David Faraday and Betty Lou Jensen, were sitting in their car when shots rang out. No witnesses, no motive. Just two young lives erased in seconds. 6 months later, it happened again. Another young couple, Darlene Farron and Mike Mageau, attacked in their parked car at Blue Rock Springs. Mageau survived, barely. Through his pain and confusion, he described the attacker as a heavy-set man with a flashlight and a gun. But this time, the killer didn't just vanish. He called the police himself. With a chilling calm, he claimed responsibility for both shootings, and then, as if mocking the authorities, he mailed 3 letters to local newspapers, each containing one part of a cryptic cipher made up of strange symbols and coded text. He demanded they be published on the front page, or more people would die. The letters began the Zodiac's game of cat and mouse with the media and the police, a psychological war unlike anything America had seen. He signed each letter with a strange circle and cross symbol resembling a rifle sight, and each ended with a simple, chilling line. This is the Zodiac speaking. Within days, the cipher was published. It took an ordinary school teacher and his wife, Donald and Betty Harden, to crack it. When decoded, the message read, "I like killing people because it is so much fun. It is more fun than killing wild game in the forest because man is the most dangerous animal of all." There was no name, no clue to his identity, just a confession soaked in arrogance. Over the next few years, Zodiac would claim responsibility for at least 5 murders, though he hinted the real number was much higher. His victims seemed random: couples parked in cars, a lone taxi driver, even people he claimed to have shot or bombed but were never confirmed. Each attack carried a signature: brutality, calculation, and, most importantly, communication. He didn't just want to kill, he wanted to talk about it, to prove he was smarter, more powerful, more untouchable than anyone else. And that's exactly what terrified the public the most. One of the most chilling attacks happened in September 1969 at Lake Berryessa. 2 college students, Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, were picnicking when a man appeared wearing a hood with the Zodiac symbol stitched on the front. He bound them, stabbed them repeatedly, and left his symbol carved into the car door. Brian survived. Cecilia didn't. Before leaving, Zodiac called the police again, describing the murder in detail. He was playing a role: part killer, part performer, part puzzle master. Just weeks later, he struck again, shooting cab driver Paul Stein in San Francisco's Presidio Heights. But this time, there were witnesses. Teenagers saw him wipe down the taxi and walk away calmly. Police arrived within minutes and unknowingly let him go. A dispatcher had mistakenly described the suspect as a black male. Zodiac was white. They passed him on the street. The killer just walked away into the night. Then came the letters. More threats, more taunts. He mailed bloody pieces of Paul Stein's shirt to prove his identity. He threatened to attack school buses. He drew diagrams for homemade bombs. Every message was a riddle, every symbol a clue or a trap. And yet, even with all the attention, all the fear, the Zodiac vanished as suddenly as he appeared. By 1974, the letters stopped, the killings stopped, but the legend only grew. Over the years, countless theories have surfaced. Police questioned hundreds of suspects. Some people pointed to Arthur Lee Allen, a convicted child molester and military veteran. His handwriting was similar, his background matched the killer's cryptic hints, but no definitive proof ever tied him to the crimes. Then there was Richard Gaikowski, a journalist with access to the same newspapers Zodiac wrote to, or Lawrence Kane, whose name might fit into Zodiac's final cryptic cipher. In 2021, a group called the Case Breakers claimed they finally identified the Zodiac as Gary Francis Post, a house painter and Air Force veteran who died in 2018. They pointed to scars on his forehead matching composite sketches, but even that claim remains unconfirmed. The truth is, no one really knows. The Zodiac case remains one of America's most enduring mysteries, a haunting reminder of how fear can spread faster than bullets. It wasn't just the murders. It was the message, the idea that someone, somewhere, could kill without reason and then challenge the world to catch him. And the world failed. Even today, people still try to solve the unsolved ciphers, hunting for patterns, hidden meanings, or one last confession. The most infamous of them, the 340 cipher, wasn't cracked until 2020, over 50 years later. When decrypted, it read, "I hope you are having lots of fun in trying to catch me. I am not afraid of the gas chamber because it will send me to paradise all the sooner." Cold, calculated, defiant, even from beyond the grave. If you think you can understand the Zodiac, think again. He wasn't just a killer. He was an idea, a ghost in symbols. And he's out there, not in the flesh, but in the minds of those who keep searching for his truth. So, before you decide to play detective, remember, you might not like what you find staring back at you from the code. Subscribe, and next time we'll uncover another mystery that refuses to die. Because some stories are meant to haunt you forever.